Guys, this is me Abhilasha, your favorite VRC mentor, and I am back again with one more episode of your favorite Hindu reading comprehension. We do alternate days, Hindu and AEON, and I hope you are joining me every single day for this session where we are doing a lot of reading comprehension. तो ये बहुत प्यारा कोर्स है और सब लोग ज़रूर 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 से ज्वाइन करो. Also remember to hit like, share, subscribe and the bell icon so that all your friends and family can also view this. आज का सेशन स्टार्ट कर देते हैं. अभी कैट लाइव यूज करके अनलॉक करो सारे फ्री क्लासेस को और सब्सक्राइब करो सारे फ्री क्लासेस को सो दैट यू कैन टेक एडवांटेज ऑफ दिस. Good morning. I am live and audible and visible, guys. Remember to hit like, share, subscribe also. All right, Ask Me Anything is happening and today it's happening at 10 p.m. not a.m. तो आज रात में 10 बजे हम मिल रहे हैं फॉर आवर ओपन हाउस वेयर वी विल बी टॉकिंग अबाउट समथिंग रिलेटेड टू कैट. आज वोकैबुलरी पे डिस्कशन करेंगे कि कैसे करो वो कैप का प्रेप. सो डू जॉइन इन. और ये ऐप पे दिख रहा है तो ऑल यू हैव टू डू इज जस्ट गो टू द ऐप, क्लिक ऑन दैट लिंक एंड देन यू कैन जॉइन. 10 बजे रात में है तो मैं रिमाइंड करूंगी. ऑलराइट, आवर सेशंस टुडे. अच्छा गाइस, आज जो है हमारा जीडीपीआई का नया कोर्स लॉन्च हो रहा है विच इज ऑन द जीडीपीआई गोल. सो इफ यू हैवंट येट सब्सक्राइब, डू मेक श्योर यू आर जॉइनिंग इन. इट विल बी अ वेरी हेल्पफुल कोर्स फॉर एवरी वन ऑफ यू. ऑलराइट, हियर आर सम न्यू बैचेस. 5th February बड़े अच्छे बैचेस हैं. ज्वाइन करो. यूज अभी कैट लाइव. Unacademy CAT scholarship test, guys. This test is happening today, 6 p.m. 30 questions, 60 minutes. अनलॉक कोड इज अभी कैट लाइव. अगर आपने अभी तक यूज नहीं किया है तो प्लीज यूज करो, बहुत फायदा होगा. इट्स गोइंग टू बी एन अमेजिंग थिंग. Also the combat happens today and that's why I'm not having a special class today. तो आप लोग सारे combat में आओ. 12 बजे है combat. इसमें होंगे 21 questions to be done at 45 minutes and the questions are all from reading comprehension. तो एज अ VARC एजुकेटर मेरा पूरा वो है कि आप लोग इसको ज्वाइन करो और इसको टेस्ट को करो. टॉप क्वालिटी क्वेश्चंस होंगे. 100% स्कॉलरशिप है. क्वेश्चंस हैव बीन क्रिएटेड बाय आवर टॉप एजुकेटर्स. वीडियो सॉल्यूशंस भी बने हैं. Compete with your peers live, get real time all India rank after each question and personalized scoring and rating भी है. तो इसका पूरा फायदा उठाओ guys. Also iconic subscription is available. You can get 6 months, 12 months, 24 months subscription at great offs. There are huge discounts. Plus the best thing is that there is live mentoring. Now live mentoring का क्या है? There are lots of benefits of plus. वो तो है ही. उसके अलावा you get 1-to-1 sessions. Now what is a 1-to-1 session? You can fix an audio call with your mentor and get on that call. So you get doubt sessions, you get live concept clarity, you get mentorship. So your mentors can help you with a lot of things. How to plan, how to do your analysis, how to prepare for your interviews, how to prepare for class. What is the planning, what is the number of tests you should be doing, all of that you can discuss with your mentors also. So that's an amazing thing. So ये live mentoring बहुत अच्छी है. Also you can do it in a choice of your language, English or Hindi. So that's also amazing. You can book slots at your convenience just from the app. So it's very easy, guys. So do subscribe to your iconic courses. Plus courses are also available and you can subscribe to your plus courses also, my boys and girls. Ask It Out feature is also on your website now. So anyone who wishes to go to the website and ask a doubt, you can ask 3 doubts at a go. 3 doubts. And you can choose a choice of your language also. So English, Hindi, English, whatever. You've got that choice. So go ahead and ask as many doubts as you want to. All right, let's get started with our article for the day. शुरू कर देते हैं. So heightened. When the tension is heightened, यानी वो increase कर गया है tension. So of course, increase कह सकते हैं. It can also be said aggravated. तो tension has been aggravated ऐसा भी कह सकते हैं. जरूरी नहीं है कि टेंशन सिर्फ इंक्रीज के हैं. टेंशन हैज बीन एग्रेवेटेड, हाइटेंड, कुछ भी ऐसा कह सकते. टोटलिटेरियनिज्म हमें पता है डिक्टेटरशिप होती है जब एब्सोल्यूट रूल होता है किसी भी चीज का. सो दैट इज कॉल्ड डिक्टेटरशिप और टोटलिटेरियनिज्म. वेयर इट इज माय वे और द हाईवे, उसे कहेंगे टोटलिटेरियनिज्म. रैम्पेंट, ऑफ कोर्स समथिंग दैट इज spread everywhere and is going crazy. So violence is rampant right now. If you see electioneering is rampant in UP right now. We've got the elections happening very soon in UP. First phase I think happens on the 10th if I'm not mistaken. So therefore बहुत सारी बातें चल रही हैं, पूरा election वाला माहौल हो गया है पूरा यूपी में. So yes, it is all rampant, it is spread everywhere. Acquisition, of course, is to acquire something or to gain something, to get something, to buy something, in all those senses. Covert, of course, means something that is secret. कोई भी चीज जो हम छुप छुप के करते हैं, we don't let others know, that itself is called covert, guys. छुप के करा हुआ कोई भी काम covert है, openly किया हुआ कोई काम overt होता है. So covert and overt दोनों opposites हैं, बहुत प्यारे words हैं, ध्यान रखे जा सकते हैं. Alright, a motif is a design. It is a recurring design. So in certain artists' work, you will see a certain design everywhere. So that's called the motif. That's the design that you will see recurring throughout a particular artist's work. Propaganda are false claims. Election propaganda is like something that we keep talking about. Misogynist is someone who hates women. The root word MIS means hate, and the root word gynae, G-Y-N-A-E, means women. So misogyny, of course, is hatred of women, extreme hatred of women. Emasculated, of course, is weakened, to be made less masculine, so weakened. An expose is, of course, a revelation when you reveal the secrets of someone. It's called an expose. What media calls a sting report. So today in Dainik Jagran, there is an expose on certain things. If you do get Dainik Jagran in Lucknow, by any chance, do read it up. It's very interesting. So an expose is a revelation. I don't really read Dainik Jagran. We do get it in our house. But आज बड़ा interesting था तो मैंने भी पढ़ लिया सुबह सुबह. Alright, let's get started with our article for the day. प्यारा सा article है. Good morning, Aman, Ajay, Yogesh, Sanjesh, Xnerv, Archit, Anveshita, Garima, Sharanya, Siddharth, Shreya. Good morning, you guys. I'm so happy that you're all here, despite it being a Sunday and despite my changing the time of the session. You guys are such rock stars. Alright, cultural historians argue that the post-war period was marked by an acute sense of set of anxieties. So जो cultural historians they will say that ये जो war वाले periods हुए हैं उनके बाद there has always been a period which is beset by a lot of anxieties. What Timothy Melly in Empire of Conspiracy 2000 labels agency panic about the potential for large institutions, states and technologies to control the arena of the personal self. So essentially what we are saying is that every time there's been a war, after the war, people have had a lot of anxiety about the country or the government controlling the human being or controlling the person. Such concerns already heightened by the rise of totalitarianism in Nazi Germany. So because in Germany, totalitarianism happened, Hitler happened. So such concerns were already heightened, and the Soviet Union also were boosted by the appearance of new forms of mass media and mass culture. So new forms of mass media happened, mass culture happened, so it was boosted, it was increased. The growth of the covert security state, so because you got security agencies which were secret, so that also kind of boosted this anxiety, and rampant globalization. So globalization also boosted this entire thing. But fears of mind manipulation were also driven by, so now we come to the crux of the passage or what we are talking about, that there were fears of your mind being manipulated, and they were also driven by the growing influence of the psychological sciences and the belief that the next major frontier in science, the mind and brain, would soon be unlocked. So after World War II, when we started, getting back into shape, there was this huge fear that the brain will be the next frontier to be opened up, and that governments would start controlling the mind. They would manipulate the minds of our people. And that was a big fear, that we would become some sort of robots, our bodies would become robots to the diktats of the government. Addressing the American Psychological Association in 1955, the physicist J. Robert Oppenheimer warned his audience that every acquisition of psychological knowledge, so every time you acquire psychological knowledge, opens up the most terrifying prospects of controlling what people do. So every time you get more knowledge, there are hopes and expectations that you will start controlling what people are doing and how they think and how they behave and how they feel. So we will start doing this, we will start controlling people. His comments came in the wake of the Korean War. So his comments came immediately after the Korean War. Wake means after. When reports of prisoners of war, POWs, collaborating with the communist enemy, so there were reports in the after the Korean War that the prisoner of wars were collaborating with the Koreans. So these reports raised widespread alarm. So everybody got very scared about this, about the role of psychology in warfare. So people started fearing the role of psychology in war, that, you know, the enemy countries would control your minds. In one case, several captured US airmen publicly confessed to committing crimes of bacteriological warfare in North Korea. So some soldiers from the US actually confessed to doing this, that they were releasing bacteria, some sort of bacteriological warfare in North Korea. Some commentators claimed they had been victims of powerful techniques of psychological manipulation. So some commentators also said that they had been brainwashed, known as brainwashing. Suspicions that appeared to be confirmed by further scandals in Chinese prison camps. So there were major scandals of prisoners being brainwashed into doing something or something. After the war, 21 Americans even chose to live in communist China rather than be repatriated. Now, this sentence can be taken in so many ways, that they were brainwashed and they were made to just stay there. They were just, you know, something like that. So they were willing to have, ho sakta hai uske koi aur reason ho, but apparently it was some sort of brainwashing and manipulation only. Alan Dulles, director of the Central Intelligence Agency, that is CIA, declared that the communist enemy was waging a new form of brain warfare. So the CIA said that they had a new type of warfare that was happening, seeking to condition the mind. So they were trying to train the mind or condition the mind so that it no longer reacts on a free will or rational basis. So they would train your mind to, you know, work not independently, but response to impulses implanted from the outside. So your brain would function in a way it would be controlled by someone who was planting some impulses in your brain. So some sort of circuitry would be happening. A panel of military psychiatrists charged with investigating the conduct of Korean War POWs later dismissed, so बाद में उन्होंने इसको dismiss किया, reject किया, the more sensational claims about brainwashing. So they said that, oh, this is not really true, brainwashing not really true, calling for more sober analyses of POW behavior. So they said, hey, let's not go into these, you know, there is a brainwashing happening, but look and study it further in more detail in a more sober manner. Don't go rumor mongering. Nonetheless, throughout the 1950s, brainwashing had become a point of fascination for the military and intelligence community. So everybody was talking about brainwashing, who helped fund both covert and overt research into methods of psychological indoctrination. So we started studying this. So psychological indoctrination means training, right? So psychologically, how your mind can be trained by the enemy. So a lot of research started happening, both covertly and overtly. That means छुप छुप के भी और सामने सामने भी released, revealed, reporting, researching started happening in how to manipulate the mind. It also became an important cultural motif. So suddenly it became, you know, part of what we are talking about, or a recurring theme, featuring in numerous literary and cinematic productions. You have a series of movies which are all about this. My mind has been brainwashed. including John Frankenheimer's film The Manchurian Candidate in 1962. Frankenheimer's semi-parodic take on the subject, so he has made a semi-parody. A parody is a joke or a comedy on something. Okay, on a real incident, you create a comedic feature, that is called a parody. So it was a partial parody. A take on the subject showed how loyal POWs serving in North Korea might be turned into political assassins. So how a POW, a prisoner of war, could be changed into a political assassin. So that's what this story was. But it also captured other concerns about psychological manipulation from the 1950s. So there were other concerns, and it also picked up on those. A fear-mongering McCarthyite senator, okay, ever-present television media, political propaganda, and a domineering mother played by Angela Lansbury. So these were all reasons why psychological mapping, mind manipulation could happen. The latter tapped into momism. So the mother, very strong mother, tapped into a psychology called momism, a misogynist panic arguing that young American boys were emasculated victims of psychological pressures placed on them by their mothers. So now imagine अब आपने माँ को भी जो है ऐसा terrorist बना दिया है. That mother is one who is playing a pressure on the child to be a certain way. So the child does not really grow into a man. He is a weakened version of who he could have been. He's been emasculated by a domineering mother. Very interesting, huh? Momism. Themes of brainwashing also surfaced in various writings about the role of psychologists in corporate America. So in corporate America also, how psychologists would be working, that was one more theme. In his best-selling expose of depth psychology in the advertising industry, The Hidden Persuaders, 1957, Vance Packard described the large-scale effort being made. So Vance Packard said, hey, here are large-scale efforts being made, often with impressive success and with good success, they were very successful, to channel our unthinking habits, to control our minds, our purchasing decisions, okay, and our thought processes by the use of insights gleaned from psychiatry and social sciences. Now, guys, I don't know if you remember, we have talked about this several times. I have asked you to view a documentary on Netflix also, where we said that how Facebook and other such websites are tapping into our minds and controlling our buying behavior. So now see, this is where all that mind manipulation is going. If you haven't seen it, I think it's called The Social Network or something like that. Do check it out. I don't remember the name of the documentary, but hey, we can look it out. So see, now this is something that in 1957 they had said that there are hidden persuaders, there are things that are, you know, manipulating your mind, and we have a real life example happening to us. Our phone listens, and you know that. And our thought processes by the use of insights gleaned from psychiatry and the social sciences. So our buying behavior, in fact, our entire lives are being controlled by some giant hidden agendas. Okay. All right. Now, here's our question for the day. Which of the following is the purpose of the passage? To explain the term brain warfare, to discuss the fear of brain warfare, to excoriate brain warfare, to define psychosis and its ensuing problems. Come on, guys. Let's get your answers in. I hope you found this article to be interesting. This is, I think, the second article today on AEON. Do read it up. Come on, guys, let's get your answers in. Do remember to hit like also, please, everyone, if you haven't yet liked it. But आज तो सबने like कर दिया है. आज वैसे लोग भी कम आए हैं. I assume Sunday morning and all of that. All right, to explain the term brain warfare, we did not really explain this term in great detail, right? To define psychosis, no, we have not talked about psychosis and we have not defined it. See, please understand that the definition should happen within the passage for us to say that we have defined it, but it hasn't happened, right? So to discuss the fear of brain warfare or to excoriate brain warfare, we haven't really excoriated it. Excoriated means to say something bad about it. But we have discussed in detail the fact that there is a fear of brain warfare, of how your mind can be manipulated. So yes, this article clearly was discussing the fear of brain warfare, how after World War II and how after the Korean War, there were these huge fears that our mind would be manipulated by the government, whether by our own government or whether by the enemy government, but some government definitely. So someone was controlling our mind. That was a big fear. So correct answer will be B, guys. X-nerve. Yes, it was the social dilemma, not the social network. Thank you. Yes, that's the documentary that I was talking about on Netflix. You should definitely see it. It's an amazing documentary. All right, which of the following is inferred from the passage except? So let's find out. Fear of mind control leads to anxiety. Brainwashing leads to Americans to stay back in China. America used bacteriological weapons in Korea. And communists were victims of brain warfare. Come on, let's get your answers in. Come on, guys. So fear of mind control leads to anxiety. Yes, this is something we can infer, so cannot be our answer. Brainwashing leads to Americans to stay back in China. Yes, there was a group of them that stayed back. So eliminate. America used bacteriological weapons in Korea. Yes, somebody said that. So eliminate. Communists were victims of brain warfare is absolutely the opposite of what the passage said. So guys, the correct answer here is D. That's the one that you just cannot infer. In fact, it's the opposite of what we have inferred. North Korea mein ruk gaye, China mein ruk gaye, to kahan hi communist victims the. They were the perpetrators of brain warfare. So that's your correct answer. Perpetrator means someone who causes something. बहुत प्यारा word है. Perpetrator, someone who does something, who causes something to happen. All right, which of the following is true according to the passage except? So find the ones that are true and then leave that and your answer will be here. Timothy Mellier in Empire of Conspiracy labels anxiety as agency panic. Rise of totalitarianism in Nazi Germany and the Soviet Union aggravated anxiety. POWs after Korean War were accused of collaborating with the communist enemy. John Frankenheimer starred in The Manchurian Candidate. Ayushi, I do a tone question every day. Is it that today is your first session here? If it is, then maybe you have not seen it, but every day we do discuss one tone question, one vocab question, one main idea, one inference, and one factual question. That's generally the way it is going. And all of these questions are framed in the true except format so that you get used to our CAT format of true except or false except. All right, wonderful. Let's take a look. Timothy Mellier in Empire of Conspiracy labels anxiety as agency panic is mentioned in the passage, so cannot be our answer. Rise of totalitarianism in Nazi Germany and the Soviet Union aggravated anxiety after the Second World War is mentioned in the passage, cannot be my answer. POWs after the Korean War were accused of collaborating with the communist enemy was also mentioned in the passage, so cannot be my answer. John Frankenheimer made this movie, he didn't star in this, and that's why here's one that is incorrect according to the passage, so will be your answer. Okay, so here you are your answer. Yes, D is the correct answer, guys. Absolutely wonderful. I do see some D's. Come on, here is your tone question. Which of the following can be the tone of the author? Dropping out was a way of safeguarding this inviolable private life, a theme that was frequently explored in totalitarian fiction. Is it acerbic? Is it reprimanding? Is it laudatory? And that is it opinionated? Come on, guys. Dropping out was a way of safeguarding this inviolable private life, a theme that was frequently explored in totalitarian fiction. Is it acerbic? Is it reprimanding? Is it laudatory? Is it opinionated? So why were you doing passive reading, X-Nerve? I always ask you to read along with it. And that's why I just stay in the corner also, so that you do have the space to read. All right, yes, it is not acerbic, it's not biting, it's not harsh in that sense, so not A. Is it reprimanding? No. Scolding, chiding, censuring? Nahi. Is it laudatory, praising? No, it is not praising anyone, so opinionated, yes, is perfect. The correct answer. Look at this. Dropping out was a way of safeguarding this inviolable private life, a theme that was frequently explored in totalitarian fiction. So the author is saying that ये एक theme थी जो बार बार explore हो रही थी, writer की opinion है. So yes, opinionated, and that's the correct answer. Now, if you looked at the passage, guys, and if you were looking at what was the theme of the entire passage per se, then the theme would have to be very pessimistic or negative, because the writer is talking about, mind manipulation and saying that it was a very much feared thing. So if you were to identify what the tone of the entire passage was, it would be negative, it could be pessimistic. At some point of time, it could be skeptical also, right? Not everywhere, but yes, some places it was skeptical also. The author doubted the intentions of the government and such like things. So those could be the tones of the entire passage. Here is a question, what is the meaning of antidote? Please don't give me the except answer. I don't know why I have not removed the except. So identify the meaning of antidote, please. Reprimanding means scolding. Come on, let's get your answers in. So antidote क्या होगा? Antidote क्या होता है? Anti मतलब against. Antidote is something that works against a poison, right? So of course it cannot be fiduciary. How does fiduciary have anything to do with this? Fiduciary means related to one central authority and then its associated local authorities. Okay, it is a relationship based on trust. A fiduciary relationship is one that is based on trust and faith. Delusion is misapprehension, कुछ अलग ही सपने में रहना. So misapprehension, incorrect expectation is delusion. Medicine, of course, antidote, perfect. Emollient, what is an emollient? An emollient is a skin lotion, something that you use to soften your skin. तो अगर आप अपने बॉडी पे वो लगाते हैं, फेस पे वो लगाते हैं, क्या कहते हैं, पॉन्ड्स, गूगली वुगली वुश या वैसलीन या कुछ भी जो भी लगाते हैं हमारी तरह बॉडी ऑयल कुछ भी, तो that's an emollient, something that keeps your skin soft. So it's a skin lotion, okay, that keeps you soft. So emollient, clearly not. So correct answer, guys, yes, was C, medicine. I do think you've got it. Gulab jal, no, gulab jal just keeps you smelling nice. Doesn't soften your skin. Okay. All right, guys. Today there is an open house. It's at 10 p.m. रात में 10 बजे है. मैंने लिंक दे दिया है, बट लिंक ऐप में भी विजिबल है, सो यू विल बी एबल टू सी इट. ऑल्सो गाइज, जीडीपीआई का नया बैच लॉन्च किया है, आज ही से स्टार्ट किया है, सो दैट्स गोइंग टू बी एट 3:30 p.m. डू मेक श्योर यू कमिंग इन. इफ यू हैव गॉट अ कॉल टू अ टॉप बी स्कूल, वी आर वर्किंग विद यू गाइज. ऑल्सो गाइज, हमारा नाउन्स का एरर्स कल हो चुका है, उसके क्वेश्चंस दे दिए थे मैंने, उसको करके आना है. आज हम प्रोनाउन एरर्स डिस्कस करेंगे. So I'm hoping that all of you will come and join me in this batch. Thank you. Have a nice day. Adios, mere amigos. Hasta la vista. See you at 3:30 for the GDPI course and at 5 p.m. for our pronoun session and 10 p.m. you know it, for the open house. Remember to hit like, share, subscribe and the bell icon, and use AbhiCat Live if you're subscribing to us, okay? Thank you. Bye-bye.